Hello, everybody. I am David Perry. I want to welcome you back to everyone. You know how it goes. The David Perry Show. Come on, give me a clap loud. Do something. Let me let the world know that there are people out there that might like me. I want to say thank you for coming back to my podcast show, episode 3 to the David Perry Show. It's going to be a great show tonight. I have a very, very special guest that you guys will be very happy to see and meet and hear. He's going to talk about all things wonderful and beauty. His name is Dr. Mark Richards. He's a renowned cosmetic surgeon. He works and lives in this area, but he's worked all over. So we're going to talk about that with him. We're going to talk about fillers and thread lips, is that the correct word? Injections and beauty enhancements and non-surgical procedures and all those wonderful things. How to find beauty, how to keep beauty, how to enhance beauty, how to stay young and beautiful looking like I plan on doing for the rest of my life. So we're going to get started real quick, but first I just want to give you a little hint and look at what I'm wearing tonight. In the immortal words of RuPaul the Goddess, this is the front, and this is the back. Get into this, honey. All right? But yes, we're going to be starting the show off like this every month. As I told you, I'm going to be doing this once a month on Thursday nights. But enough of all of that. We're getting ready to get started with the David Perry Show. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned, and I'll see you when we get back. Hello, everybody. Mark, we're going to be looking over in that way and over in that direction, okay? But hi, everybody. We're back to the David Perry Show. All right. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. As I said, my God, I do talk loud, don't I? It's the late night PM crowd. Y'all know how that works for me. As I said before, my guest tonight is Dr. Mark Richards. Everyone give him a hand.
Hello.
All right. He deserves it. He, as I said before, he's well-respected, well-known. He is a cosmetic surgeon, as well as other things we're going to find out about. He, as I said before, lives and works in this area. So let's get started. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, David.
I'm glad to have you here. I'd like to go ahead and start with the easy question first.
Okay.
You told me once that you were a model.
Yeah. I thought that was a secret, but yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. What was that all about?
Well, on my way to being a plastic surgeon, you have to go through 4 years of med school and 5 years of general surgery residency and another 2 years of plastic surgery residency. So going through medical school in effort to make a little money on the side, I was approached and asked to do some modeling when I was in Baltimore.
Oh, good. And how long did you do that? Was it very short? Hey, one of my guests just walked in. Hey, Vanessa, wave, say hello to the crowd. She just got in, guys. Thank you for joining. That's Vanessa. So how long did you do that?
I did it for about 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
Had some interesting times. It was fun trying to balance medical school and doing modeling.
Right.
But I had some very memorable events. You're probably not old enough to remember Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, are you?
I am old enough to remember them. Whether I actually should be
Saw
old enough to say I saw them or not.
Exactly.
But Mark, I'm a lot older than you think. But so I'll
Really?
take that as a compliment from you. Yes, I'm 56 years old. So I'll take that as a compliment from you if you weren't able to guess
I have
that.
you
beat. You do?
I do.
How old are you? Oh, you'd rather not say? I know, right? Okay, it's like, how rude. I apologize.
So
but yes.
anyway, I got to do commercials with them, and one of the funnier things is I was up working on the emergency room shift for 24 hours straight, and got a call at about 10 p.m. on the start of my evening saying that the next morning they wanted me to do a photo shoot. I said, you got to be kidding me. I'm working 24 hours, no sleep, in the emergency room in a trauma center, and you want me to show up at 9 o'clock in the morning somewhere to do a photo shoot?
Pretty typical for a photo shoot, isn't it?
And they're like, yeah, we do. I'm like,
yeah, we do.
what are they paying? They told me. I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
There you go.
So, I raced home, put ice packs on.
Of course.
Showed up at the studio. And then ended up being on the cover of 100,000 recruiting brochures for USF&G.
How about that? Can you tell me what
They
USF...
like that working look,
Yes.
They wanted those young executives to be up all night working, and that's what I look like on the...
So you gave them the look that they wanted. So you did your job then.
I did.
I want to ask you, what is that? You said USF&G. What is that?
It was company called United States Fidelity and Guarantee Trust. It's a financial company.
That sounds like something
in
I
North
should have known,
America.
right? I'm
Yeah,
supposed to know
you know,
that, right?
Well, I think with the financing of a big TV show like this, you might know it.
I think I need to find out things like that. You know
Yeah.
what? I think I'm going to be having a lot of fun with this guy. He's gonna keep me on my
I
toes
even brought you
tonight.
some,
I
props
saw,
today.
yeah. We're gonna talk about this big
Yeah.
time. But just one thing about the modeling, real quick, and then we're gonna move on because
Okay.
I understood when I saw your bio that you were about to become a model with Calvin Klein. Is that correct?
Yes, that was one of those moments where you look back and you go, I wonder what would have happened if. But because of my work in the Baltimore, D.C. area,
Right.
and I had met some models with Ford Agency in Wilhelmina, New York, and that was the look at the time in the early 80s that Calvin Klein wanted for his jeans.
Exactly.
And so I was offered the job. They said, look, you're going to get it. Just go up, talk to Calvin Klein. And I said, well, wait a second. I still have another year of medical school.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, you're going to have to stop for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, what does it pay? And it paid an astronomical amount of money. And that was before the endorsements.
Oh, right.
And I said, it's really tempting, but I think if I make that kind of money and I'm away for 2 years, I'm never going to go back to medical school.
Right.
And I still think being a doctor was probably a better
Your
choice
chart,
than being on all the bus stops with the jeans on, but I don't know.
Okay, I know, right? Well, you know what? I definitely don't think you did not make the wrong decision. You're here, you're well known, you're famous, your work you do great work.
Thank you.
I've looked at your website, I looked at your videos, I was like, wow, I got my homework cut out for me. So I loved it. That being said, why did you get into plastic surgery? Why did you become a cosmetic surgeon? Was there a reason for it? Was there a personal reason?
I think I was always fascinated by the brain. So I actually wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Oh, I see.
And then I went to medical school. I majored in neurophysiology in college. Went to medical school, studied neurophysiology in the brain a lot. Wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Right.
I spent 2 weeks on the neurosurgery service. I hated it.
Oh man,
I really hated it.
Really?
I
Oh,
hated it.
what boring
like-
or tedious
No,
or
just like bizarre.
Oh, bizarre. Okay. Some
not in a
people
good
like
way.
that.
Not
Not
in
in
a
a good
good-
way.
not-
Exactly.
not
Glad
in a
you
good way.
explained
No,
that.
no.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So at the time, there weren't the advances that they have today for neurosurgery. I mean, neurosurgery today is a pretty fascinating field.
Okay.
And there's a lot of really cool things you can do. Back, 30, 40 years ago, neurosurgery, your patients often weren't better off when you finished with them.
What do you mean?
Well, if they had a brain tumor or an aneurysm, you usually left them with some sort of huge deficit.
Oh, I
neurologic
see.
deficit. And that would not have made me very happy.
Oh, I understand. Is it because not that I
we
know
just
anything,
hadn't
but
advanced
about the
enough
medical?
to
Okay.
do
Oh, it
the
wasn't
special
advanced.
techniques that we can do now.
Okay, because I was wondering if it had something to do with because the brain is a very tricky area. And I thought if you know what you're
It
doing,
can
you
be
do something
tricky. It
wrong.
can be I noticed you walked up here with heels. That can
Yes.
be tricky too.
Oh my God. You know what,
Yeah,
Mark?
but
I've been walking in heels
A
since.
sprained ankle and missing half your brain.
Okay,
They're a little different.
exactly. I do have half my brain missing, by the way, but yes. And as far as
Maybe I
walking
should
in
reconsider
heels,
neurosurgery
I've been
then.
doing this forever.
Nice. So anyway, I really didn't know what I was going to go into after that, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go into the new field of biotechnology and get a
Gotcha.
business degree at Stanford. And they accepted me, but in the time between I was going to finish medical school and go to business school at Stanford, I fell in love with plastic surgery. I started doing plastic surgery rotations, and I thought, this is what I love.
Wow.
Because you can create. Everybody you work on is better when you finish.
Oh.
Whether it's reconstruction or cosmetic, it doesn't matter.
Good.
And you get to think of how you want to make somebody better.
Okay.
There's no set formula like baking chocolate chip cookies.
Right,
There's
yes.
a lot of different recipes.
I understand.
And you have to decide which recipe is right for that person.
Oh my goodness.
was fun.
Just to jump back again, back to that modeling, you're very handsome. I can
Thank
see
you.
you being scouted, and actually you look a little bit like Calvin Klein. Did you look like him back, when you were a little younger? So I can see why he asked you.
Mark.
I'm sorry?
I think he went with Marky
Oh,
Mark
well,
when I didn't take it.
yeah.
And actually, we looked a
see
lot alike back then, which was funny.
Right, exactly. Oh, okay.
So it was the same look. It was
Exactly.
Really funny.
But he decided to go with the rapper, hip hop,
Well, I didn't show.
singer, actor. What? Oh, you didn't show. That's right. I got
Never
you.
went.
All right, guys. Enough of that. I know. Let's talk about the here and the now. One of the things I wanted to ask you. You have your office here in Bethesda. Is that correct?
Right.
How long
Across
have you?
across from the mall formerly known as White Flint.
Oh, wow. I remember White Flint back in the day. It's no longer there, is it?
Well, they want to build a huge mall there, and the owners are in court for years. So right now it's just a Lord and Taylor's and then a lot of empty space.
Exactly.
But everything around it's exploded. You wouldn't believe it.
Wow. I haven't been there in a while, but I remember the last time. It's amazing how the malls have just kind of just gone the way of just gone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Now they have high-priced apartment buildings,
yes,
and
online
restaurants and everything.
shopping, and but I remember going to White Flint because to me that was like a very high-end Tony like kind of mall. I grew up where I used to go to Landover, so back in the day, I hope I'm not telling on myself, we called Landover Black Flint. If anybody even remembers that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, jokingly inside, for anyone who remembers, y'all remember that? Your business, do you work with other people? I mean, do you have other surgeons on your staff?
No, I'm a solo practitioner.
I
have
see.
A nurse that works with me. It's been with me for 20-some years.
Got it.
Esthetician, a skincare specialist, and she does certain skin procedures.
Okay.
And then office manager and my wonderful receptionist.
Oh, nice. Are you associated with other offices or hospitals? Are you associated with any other hospitals?
I have
or anything like
privileges
that?
at several hospitals,
I
Sibley
see.
Hospital, Suburban Hospital,
Exactly.
surgery centers, things like that.
Now, you mentioned that you have done a lot of work with celebrities and people in the industry, like entertainment or fashion industry.
Sure.
So do you do a lot of traveling for this kind of work as well?
I do a lot of traveling to lecture.
Okay.
Lecture, Paris, Zurich, Hawaii, New York, different on things that I've developed as surgery procedures.
We'll talk about that too.
But also on different ways I approach evaluating things, such as one of the talks, for example, is salvaging the unsatisfactory facelift.
What do you mean by that?
Well, back I think it was in 2000 or 2001. One of my clients was Linda Tripp, and I can speak about that.
Good. I was going to ask you about that. You mentioned, so we can only talk about it.
We can talk about it. That's one.
That's only, I know.
I can talk about.
We've already discussed that, so he's going to let me know. I tried. Believe me, I tried. God, you know I tried. But yes,
she
tell me
announced
about
that
it.
I fixed her on Larry King Live, so that
That's
sort
right.
of got rid of the secrecy requirement there. But she had a facelift in Los Angeles and was very unhappy. She actually ended up looking a little like Jay Leno, which was really unfortunate for her because he used to grill her on the
Really?
show. Yeah.
Oh.
It's added insult to injury,
I know, because poor thing is, for those of you who are not familiar with Linda Tripp, she was one of the key components in the, can I say this? Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky scandal. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying about that. Anything else you need to know, I suggest you look it up, okay?
I'm sure they can find
scandal. It's very scandal.
Anyway, she turned out to be a lovely woman.
Oh, is she? Because I was going to call her a backstabber.
No. The real story is pretty interesting.
I can only imagine.
We don't have that kind of time.
We don't have that time. That needs another show.
That would be another
maybe
shows.
we bring Linda up here on herself, honey, so she can represent herself. Okay.
But anyway, so I needed to undo what was done in Los Angeles and then redo her to make her look attractive and presentable. And you did. Sympathetic. Yeah.
You did. You did a great job on her because, I mean, she got such heat for her look, as well as how she was involved with that scandal. But because of her looks, they gave it to her even harsh.
They did.
They tore her apart.
I mean, when she came to me, she said, before she even told me she was over the phone, she said, "Have you ever worked on The Ugliest Woman in America?"
Oh, somebody said that to her, didn't they?
Sad.
Someone said
I
that.
said, "I'm sure you're not the ugliest woman in America." She goes, "Well, have any of your other clients had the 5 leading national newspapers call them the ugliest woman in America?"
They were mad at her. They hated her.
Anyway, she turned out to be lovely.
Good.
Her result turned out to be lovely.
Oh, it did.
And after that, I had people flying in from around the world that were unhappy with their facelifts, everywhere from California to England to Germany to wherever,
Nice.
To get their procedures improved.
So would you say that, I mean, I'm assuming you are already established as a cosmetic surgeon before Linda Tripp came to see you.
Right.
So would you say that you're working on her or with her propelled you more, gave you that celebrity status, and then also, propelled that business that you do.
I think that I think it did.
People were like, look what he did to her. I'm going to go call this man.
Exactly. And then interesting things started happening. I was flown out to LA to do a show about fixing botched plastic surgery.
Wow.
And so a producer flew me out there, and then I met with Bernie Brillstein. And the show's code name was Dr. Fix-It, and we wrote up a treatment, and we had to come to some compromises. I agreed, because I told them I wasn't moving to LA.
Right.
I was staying in Maryland. I was raising my children.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to
Because don't die.
take them to LA. So anyway, that was coming along, and then unfortunately the producer died of the flu.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, and so then there was no longer a push to do the show, the Dr. Fix-It show.
Yes.
But Hollywood couldn't touch it for 6.5 years. When you have a script, you have the rights to it.
Yep.
And guess what happened 6.5 years later?
Is it the show that's on the air now?
Called Botched.
Called Botched, with the two husbands who are married to two of the Real Housewives of, I think, Beverly Hills. I think that's what
Something
it
like
is.
that.
Yeah. So that's what you could have been one of them.
Well, that's how the show started, which was funny.
Yeah, because I see it now. When you mentioned that, it was very interesting because I was like, wait a minute, isn't that show on?
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mark.
It's okay. It's okay.
You could have been
I'm
in Hollywood.
You know what? I'm very happy here in DC.
We're very happy to have you here in DC. So, speaking of, like, as I said before, the here and the now, I wanted to ask, what are some of there's some renovations or some things that you have done to update or bring the cosmetic surgery technology into the modern era? There were some things that I'd like to ask you about that you've done, that you've created. Can you talk a lot about that, or some of the things that you worked on?
Sure.
The things that you invented.
The things I invented. Well, probably the one procedure that I can claim here on the air.
Thank you.
Is something called the minimal incision brachioplasty, which is a fancy name for an arm lift.
I'm sorry, one second. Can y'all hear him? Can you hear him? Okay, yeah. I was just thinking, get more into your mic. They need to see your handsome face and hear your voice.
Minimal incision brachioplasty, which is a procedure where the arm is tightened through some liposuction, specialized liposuction in the arm, and then an incision in the armpit to take out the extra skin. So you don't have the incision going down the arm like in a traditional arm lift. Oh,
I see. When you mentioned arm lift, you were saying you have to go that route to get to...
No, just to lift the arm.
So, okay.
Remember your third grade teacher who had,
tell me about that.
Who had bat wings?
Yeah, that's what y'all talking about. I get it. Okay, right.
The audience knows what I'm talking
All
about.
right, I understand
See,
now.
if you would eat a few more donuts, you might understand this better.
Oh, and speaking of that, I want to say thank you to Maggie Denise Lewis of Magnolia Blossoms Catering Service for providing us those delicious mini butt cakes. Vanessa, help yourself over there. They're delicious.
Thank you.
That's what you're talking about. So what do you do to that? You suck it out, or what do you tighten it up?
Remember I was talking about technology advancing? Well, technology has advanced, I said it advanced quickly in neurosurgery. Plastic surgery, the technology is advancing at light speed.
I see.
And so in that particular procedure, you would use a instrument called a Vaser liposuction, which is an ultrasonic type liposuction that shakes the fat cells apart.
Right.
Doesn't create any scar tissue, or creates minimal scar tissue.
I see.
Suction out this liquefied fat, and then the skin sort of hangs, and then you can cut an ellipse out in the armpit and pull that skin up.
Okay.
And
excuse me.
And through the ultrasonic energy heating up the skin a little bit, it will tighten up and shrink around the arm.
Nice.
So you don't have to always make an arm incision down the arm. Now, it's not applicable to everybody. I have probably 30% of people that come in and think they're candidates for that, and they're not. The skin has to be in pretty good quality.
I see.
And the hanging skin has to be in the upper third or the upper half of the arm. You can't have it hanging all the way down to the elbow.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know, right? Okay, did y'all hear that? It's like, I'm going to leave that part alone. If one does do that surgery, do they have to see you again for... to keep up with it, follow-ups, all of that? Do they need to follow up with
follow-ups for any
for
sort of
anything?
procedure.
Right.
I mean, I like keeping track of my patients.
Good.
All I want is happy patients.
Oh.
Right. Nobody wants unhappy patients wandering around.
Right.
So I keep a close track on them until they are happy and ready to go off and
go
come
back into the world.
Yeah, come back and see me when they want their next thing done.
Good. Do you have a lot of patients that you work with that need that procedure?
I have a fair number that I've done, and I've taught that procedure and
Okay.
lectured around the world on that procedure, and that was pretty fun, pretty interesting,
Right.
especially in Paris, because they like to put me against a Parisian doctor that does it one way,
uh-huh.
and then the
Okay.
South American doctor that does it another way.
Exactly.
And then they have sort of like, who does it the best way.
I
and
got you.
Huge audience, and then the doctors get to, ask questions. It's sort of fun.
Yeah. So you've been in
It's
a situation.
friendly competition.
Good. That's what I was about to say. So you've been in a situation where you've been doing these lectures, and you guys are like, "Well, I do it this way, and I find it better."
Right.
And, wait a minute. I find that this procedure is out.
Wait, have you been to those talks?
Uh,
That's exactly what happens.
No,
No,
I've
okay.
just been around a lot of fashion people. So trust me.
Well, tell me about your breast implant.
Oh, my breast implants. Let's talk about that. I see we have several here.
You do.
And they feel very different, each one. Would you mind telling us, what is this? What type of breast implant is that?
Okay, so we were talking about technology advancing, right?
I love it. My breast implant.
Yeah. So this,
Uh-huh.
which looks sort of like a round jellyfish,
Yes.
is the older type of silicone gel implant.
Ah, okay.
And, they can take a lot of trauma, but eventually they break.
I've heard about that a lot.
And
I've heard
also,
about...
it's round, so it sort of tends to look like a round ball.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's not really my favorite at all, and I never was very fond of these.
This is sort of the older version.
That's the older version.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
So these are the newer versions. There's three different styles.
Why don't we
There's-
move them over here
You wanna
between
move
us?
over there?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
here.
move
Well,
them
let's move that.
betwixt us.
Okay.
All right. So you were talking about these three, and
So
you're
these
saying
three, right? These are what are called the gummy bear implants.
gummy bear. Okay.
Yeah, they're made by the Mentor Corporation,
Okay.
and they're called gummy bears. Actually, the real name is Form Stable.
Form stable.
If you cut them in half, you have two halves of an implant.
Oh,
If you cut that in half, you're going to have a mess all over this counter that it'll take you years to clean up.
right. Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the advantages. The second thing is when you have it sitting up, you see side
Yep.
view on the camera, it's a breast shape,
Oh, right. Mm.
right? So yours is upside down.
Oh
but,
my God.
So that would not
I'm
look
working
good.
this out
Yeah,
already.
yeah, not doing well with
Well,
that.
I never said I plan on doing anything in that area yet.
So these are all actually the same radius. They're
Okay.
same measurements on the back, so they would fit the same size chest wall.
Okay.
But this one is a low projection, so it doesn't stick out very far.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a medium projection.
Okay.
Sticks out further, and this one is more of a high projection. So
Got
these
it. Oh, I
so
see.
You can select, because the technology is so good. You can measure a chest wall, decide what breast base it should be,
Okay.
pick out that size, and then determine whether it should be a low, medium, or a high projection breast.
Nice. Okay.
So, for example, some women have very tall chests, so you need one that's a lot taller than it is wide.
Gotcha.
So you get an implant like this, but it may come up to here,
Right.
but only this width.
I
You
see.
have other women that have shorter breasts, so you may have one that's squatter,
Okay.
and it's shorter in height. So that's an
Oh.
example of technology. Another one
Good.
is
Yes.
let's see this.
Okay. Ultra Slim. Yeah, I
Ultra
saw you
Slim.
talking about that on your website.
Right.
Now, is this the Ultra Slim, the company that we're talking about? The
The com-
weight loss company?
It is no,
Okay. Am I confusing something?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to stop talking about it. Let's talk about you and
So
Ultra Slim.
this is a machine made by Ward Photonics.
Okay.
It is FDA approved. It's, as a matter of fact, the only FDA approved device for immediate fat loss.
Can you hold that up again so they can see it? Because they were
Sure.
showing pictures
There's Ultra Slim.
of you or your work from your office. So I want them to
Here's
see
some.
this too.
Here's
Okay.
And then
And
there's even
oh,
a
in that
picture-
direction. I'm
even
sorry.
a
Yep.
picture
There
of
you
the
go.
back.
Thank you.
The it's fantastic technology. What it is
Yeah, tell me about
it's a light source, and it's a single wavelength, just like what laser would be.
Okay.
It's a red light, and this wavelength, which is a 535 nanometer wavelength, shines through your tissues, but it triggers your fat cells to open up the pores on the fat cell membrane, and
Okay.
fat just leaks out like sweat
Wow.
into your body for 36 hours.
Okay.
Well, it's amazing because whatever you clear through your system, and you can poop it out, pee it out, breathe it out,
Okay.
it's gone.
Okay.
So what if I put you, well, not you, let's say I put somebody from the audience.
All right, okay. You can still use me. I don't mind.
Underneath this panel of lights.
Right.
And you do 8 minutes aside on all 4 sides of your torso.
Okay.
And then you measure them 32 minutes later, right? Because 8 times 4 is 32. The 98% of people lose 2 inches in their measurement in those 32 minutes.
Good. Oh, I like it.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is. Very much so.
I've had people, lose several dress sizes over the course of 6 treatments.
Okay.
I've had other people that say, you know what, it worked, but my clothes are looser. I didn't really lose the whole size.
Right.
So it's hard to tell who's going to do what. But you can use it on arms, for example. I had a bride come in, couldn't fit in her dress because her arms were a little too thick.
Yeah, okay.
Treated her 4 times on her arm. She lost an inch in circumference in
Good
4
for
weeks.
her.
Dress fit fine. She was ecstatic.
She must have been wearing Vera ring.
I think she was.
Okay, because what was the line in the movie? You alter yourself to fit Vera. Vera does not alter to fit you.
We have a lot of those issues.
Okay, a lot of those issues in the bridals. Tell me some more about. Actually, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back, and I want you to continue telling me more about the products that you have here that you work with, okay? So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen to some designer music by Lips Inc., and then we're going to come right back with my special guest, Dr. Mark Richards. And we're back. Oh, I like saying that. That sounds so good. Oh, I love saying that and being able to say it and mean it. And we're back to, come on, everybody, the David Perry Show. Come on, everybody. Y'all better stop playing with me. What did you say, Mark?
That's right, the David Perry Show.
Yes, sir.
I almost forgot during the break.
You forgot that, what, my name or where you are or what?
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing you, David.
I'm going to mess with you back, Mark. I don't scare easily, okay?
Right.
In fact, you keep it up. It keeps me going.
We're going to make you look better from the inside out soon.
I can't wait. In fact, we're going to talk about one of your products here, but I want to ask you something about me. Earlier, just to put you on the spot, you were looking over here. What was going on? Are you looking for my scars?
I was looking at this. It looks like a little scar right here.
Oh, is that what you were looking at? Okay. Now I'm going to be at home in the mirror all night long. What is this man talking about? But it wasn't horrible or anything like that. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Probably a childhood scar. God only knows what's going on up in here. But I think I feel something.
See, this is the way you get it.
That's how you get it.
Yeah, and then they come in. They're like,
That's how you say it. Okay, exactly.
Terrible.
See, he set me up for life, and I'm ready.
I'm sure.
And that being said, I talked to you about, for years, I had major shaving problems that just came from, not learning how to shave properly. You take the razor and you go scrape. So I had a lot of razor bump problems, and I think as a result of that, I've been having some skin discoloration along here. I wanted to talk to you about that. What would you suggest for someone like me if I were to talk to you and start seeing you and consulting with you about that? Because I actually really will. Okay? I'm definitely going to.
We'll do a little on-air consult.
Okay.
Okay. So just to give you an overview, because we don't have the full 30 minutes to sit here and discuss it in detail.
Plus, I'm beat for the gods, so can you see? You can't see anything now. So pretend like I came to you normally.
Razor bumps are not an uncommon problem. And if you had a lighter skin tone, I would suggest something that we do IPL, where we can actually kill the hair follicles.
What does IPL stand for?
Intense pulse light. And again, you select the right frequency for the person's hair color versus their skin tone, because you want the energy to go into the hair and not into the skin, because you don't want to damage the skin and you want to blow the hair to smithereens.
Right. Okay.
So, but with the darker skin tones you have, the more difficult that is to get a spread between the hair color and the skin color.
Okay.
So then we'd have to look at other options such as glycolic acids, retinols, those sort of things to apply to stabilize the skin pigment and make it more uniform, as well as to exfoliate the skin over the hair follicles that are getting trapped when you shave, causing these razor bumps.
Yes, I hear about that. So you could help me.
We could help
you could help make me look beautiful and smooth and don't have to use a razor as much. If I were to do these procedures, will that eliminate me using a razor, or will it eliminate me not having to use it as much?
Not having to use it as much.
But it would help, though.
It would help.
Majorly.
It should make this texture better and the coloration better.
Oh, Mark, I've got to come see you. I mean, look, I'm out there in the world now. I got a worldwide platform. People are going to see this face out there. I want to stay as beautiful as I possibly can for you. So I like hearing about that. So that would be something that you would do for me to help me.
Sure.
I'm definitely going to talk more to you about this. So it's okay if I give you a call and set an
Absolutely.
appointment
I look
with you
forward to
people?
seeing you,
Oh,
yeah.
great. All right. Good. So enough about that about me.
Actually, this next product.
Let's talk about this next product, which is
product
called.
we're going to talk about.
Yes, we are going to talk about that.
Actually, is for the inflammation in the skin.
What does that do?
It will help. Well, inflammation is the cause of most illnesses, from skin pigmentation issues to acne to cancers to joint pains. This product called Skin Aid is a miraculous drink, believe it or not. And it is.
So it does come in a bottle.
It does come in a bottle. Here, I would like you to try it. I'm going to open up this
I would
bottle.
love to. I'm going to be a
Yes,
guinea
yes,
pig for y'all
yes.
tonight.
It has a peach mango flavor.
Just drink.
Drink it on down.
All right. What?
You can do
what?
the whole thing. Yep. Not bad.
Ooh. Oh, got lots of lipstick on it. So this is mine, right? So you're not getting it back. Okay, good. Because
I'm not taking
it
it
is
back now.
messed up. It tastes like let me try this. It tastes like peach. You said mango.
Yeah, peach mango.
Peach,
Yeah.
yes. It's good.
Isn't it good? So finish it up, and then I'll tell you what's in it.
All right, David.
This is a slow drinker here, okay? Honestly, it's only 3 ounces. I don't know.
I know, right?
Okay, so maybe while you're drinking it, some food scientists figured out with the
Keep talking.
benefit of the former CEO of the Mars Corporation's funding that you could take cold water fish proteins, break them down to their peptides,
Oh, that was good.
bind them to different vitamins and minerals. And when you drank it, so within 15 minutes, the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology did a test where they radio labeled the carbon, they put little isotopes in the carbon and tested it on humans, and they found within 15 minutes 90% of the peptides were in your skin. So before you ever had a chance to digest it, it gets absorbed through your mouth and esophagus and your
Okay.
stomach lining before it ever gets digested. It's in your skin. So what does it do there? Well, what
Right.
it does there is it stops the inflammation and it starts you building collagen.
Okay.
Within 3 months
Okay.
of drinking this once a day,
How about that,
you had an
Vanessa?
80% increase in collagen in your skin.
Okay, I see what you're talking. I see
Skin
where we're headed.
pigmentation gets much better.
Oh.
Teenagers with acne clears up their acne usually within
Nice.
7 to 14 days. People with eczema, their eczema gets much better. It's truly remarkable. I'm very much a science geek. I mean, before I was in medical school and modeling, I was working on defense missile systems, for example.
Smart and handsome girls,
this-
boys. You can't beat that combination.
I wasn't going to buy this thing from the rep until she could prove to me that it worked.
Okay.
And I saw the science journals. I'm like, oh my God, you found the holy grail. You found a drink that actually gets into the skin in 15 minutes.
Oh, am I showing any
works.
results right now? Am I looking
My-
smoother and
I'm
prettier
telling
and
you, I think
glossier?
the
and
cameraman is
okay,
giving you
I
a
know,
high
right?
five
I
right
love
now.
it. Am I looking like? Am I filtered for life? Like they used to do to those women in Dynasty.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to buy the next 3 months.
I'm gonna have to
now.
buy that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
probably will. You set me up for life, didn't you, Mar? Okay, that's all right. I see how you
Here
work.
you go. Here's some pictures if you wanted to see them.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm sorry. How much?
Okay, so a month's supply is $165.
Oh, that's not that. That's that's not bad at all. In fact, that's rather inexpensive.
It is.
How much do you get for a 6-month supply?
Well, you need it. Well, the first 3 months you should drink it every day, and then after that, you can back it off to maybe 3 times a week, so you can get even longer out of it.
I see. Wow. I'm glad I got this man on the air. It's already starting. You know,
There you go.
I also would love to have you talk to, maybe we need to set up a workshop where you come in and talk to some of my models and people that I work with. This might be something that they'd be interested in.
Absolutely.
Photographers, people involved in the fashion industry. This sounds like something that you could discuss that with them as well. Before we get to the next product, that being said, being in the modeling industry, has that affected your how you go about working in the cosmetic surgery industry in field?
Yes. Yes. I don't think it was an accident that somehow I ended up doing modeling for several years before I went into plastic surgery.
Right.
Once you're inside the industry, you have a much better understanding of the light, the angles, the position,
Right.
what's attractive. It may not be a classic beauty. It may be a certain shape or form that actually provides a more desirable picture.
Okay, I
So think
understand.
it's good.
Do you do cosmetic surgery, or have you, or do you
mean on
have someone
myself?
do yourself, or do you have someone? Yeah.
So-
All right.
So here's the issue.
Yeah. Huh.
I was really hating my neck. That's because I am significantly older than you. And I was about to try to find somebody to show them how I did my neck lift so they could do
Right.
it my way. And then I
You
came
look good
across
for your age, Mark. I know how
Thank
old I
you.
am. You look great for your age.
So
if
then
you're
I came
older
across
than me.
this woman who
Oh, Christy Brinkley, the woman, the supermodel.
she looks pretty good for 60.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I think she's 65.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
at least, I think
65.
about six. Yeah,
She just turned 65.
65.
So she's a spokesperson for this little device called All Therapy.
Oh, so she's got the job, because I was already getting ready to ask you if I could be a spokesperson for your skin.
Oh, you can be a spokesperson for that.
Okay.
But she has the one for All Therapy.
I gotcha.
And All Therapy is this. You know what
Excuse me.
ultrasound is, right?
Yes, I heard of
you know when
ultrasound.
you look at babies, you
Yes.
use ultrasound. Okay. So if you take ultrasound and you focus it to a pinpoint, like you do sunlight to a pinpoint, it can get things pretty hot.
Okay.
So All Therapy is micro-focused ultrasound, and it heats up your deeper skin and actually makes it think it got burned, so it develops all this collagen and tightens your neck up.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
my neck actually got a lot of improvement, and I think I can
Good.
wait another couple of years before I have to
Good.
train
Before you have to
somebody
do
to
it.
do that. Yeah.
Ah, I see.
But if I can't, I'm going to train them how to do a thread lift.
Explain that. That was one of the things in
We
your
have all this
list.
new technology.
I
I'm
know,
telling you.
right?
So think of dissolvable suture threads. And with these dissolvable suture threads, you have little Velcro hooks on them that are made out of the same material. So you put a little bit of local anesthesia injection here, do a little poke in the skin, and then push this thread under the skin to here. And then you just pull the skin back, and it hooks onto the threads. Cut out the extra thread, and you leave it.
Ooh.
The thread dissolves by itself in about
Okay.
3 months,
All right.
forms collagen, and it holds your face back in that position.
How about that,
So
guys?
it gets you about maybe up to 30% of a facelift at about 1/20th the cost.
Nice. Now,
It
is
lasts
that...
about a year and a half. I know that was your next question.
Oh, no, well, it
Whereas a facelift that I do is going to last about 20 years.
I was going to ask you, well, that as well. Is that considered a non-surgical
It's
procedure?
non-surgical procedure.
Okay, so explain for those that do not understand the difference between surgical and non-surgical.
Right.
Real.
Well, I used to say that it's minor procedures and major procedures, but I found out that what a minor procedure is a procedure on somebody else. Because
Okay.
anything you have
Okay.
done on yourself is a major procedure.
Right, exactly.
So then I said, okay, well, let's talk about surgical and non-surgical.
Okay.
So non-surgical is things that we can do in the office, maybe with local anesthesia, little
Right.
lidocaine,
Yes.
or maybe even local anesthesia with a tiny bit of nitrous oxide, a little laughing gas.
Yes.
Those are non-surgical
me.
procedures.
Okay.
So things like injecting filler to give you cheeks,
I see.
injecting filler to give you lips,
Got it.
thread lift, all therapy,
Yes.
which over the course of 3 months just sort of
Nice.
Those things are all non-surgical procedures. Even things like the hair removal we talked about with
Right.
the IPL
I
or
see.
microneedling, that sort of thing.
Now, I see you have something else there too.
I do. Well,
that
I
was
do.
the
Since
hormone.
you asked about non-surgical stuff tonight,
The hormone
this is
treatments.
a passion of mine. It is bioidentical hormone treatment for men and women.
Okay.
I have a website for that.
Yes. Go to his website. Repeat that real quick.
Okay, so my website for my plastic surgery practice, where you can see videos and before and after pictures of invasive and non-invasive, is www.drmarkrichards.com. And the website for the bioidentical hormone therapy that all of us pretty much are going to need if we want to live a long, healthy life
Right.
is myhormonetherapy.com.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what is this, right?
Yes. Well, tell us about
What
it,
is
Dr.
this?
Mark.
So we have a few minutes left, so I'm going to give
Yes,
you a
we-
90-second summary
Okay.
of
Go
a
for it.
2-hour talk.
Yes. Go for it.
Okay, so it turns out, and I have a 23-minute video on my website
That's
that
true.
everybody
We
really should
saw
watch
that.
if they're interested on it.
I'm gonna also promote that on my Facebook page after the show as well. So look out for that, guys.
Good. So it turns out that doctors are being taught wrong, but they've been taught wrong ever since there were doctors, right?
So you too, huh?
Yeah, me too. So yeah, my dean, when I graduated medical school, he's at graduation.
Okay.
He says, we gave you the best education ever. I'm like, oh, that's great. He said, half of what we taught you is completely wrong. I'm like,
Wow, how about that?
Why?
I know, right?
and he said, your job the next 40 years is to figure out which half it was.
Okay.
Because he didn't know.
So did they do it on purpose then? I'm thinking that's what they do. I know, right? How about that? Can I have my
They're
tuition
not gonna
back?
have my money
All
back either,
right.
no. So anyway, it turns out that testosterone, which we all think of as a male hormone,
Right.
is not at all a male hormone.
Okay.
It is actually the most abundant bioactive hormone in men and women their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
Testosterone is what creates the hormones, the other hormones that, for example, control your blood sugar so you don't get diabetes.
Right.
It controls your inflammatory factors so you don't get inflammation. It controls increasing your bone density so you don't get osteoporosis.
Okay.
It turns out that 100% of the estrogen in people's tissues, whether you're a man or a woman, inside the cell,
Right.
is made from testosterone inside the cell. Estrogen in the blood from the ovaries never gets into your cells.
I see. Okay.
So, and now we have an environment that's full of plastics.
Yes.
And plastics have the chemical in them called phthalates. Phthalates are the most powerful endocrine disruptor we've ever created. What that long story means is that today, the average man or woman has testosterone levels that are 60, 70, 80% lower than they were in 1960.
Okay.
And now you're seeing epidemics of low testosterone diseases, which is dementia, diabetes, obesity, breast cancer, prostate cancer, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis. All those things are indicators of low testosterone states.
I see. Wow. And I guess that also affects, of course I'm going to ask you this, that affects your sex drive, doesn't it?
Well, it
Big
does.
time.
Not only affects sex drive, it affects your sex organs.
Oh.
You know, if you're not sleeping, you're irritable, you're anxious.
Yes.
Estrogen makes people violent. Testosterone makes people really chill and calm.
Okay.
It's the opposite of what you
So
thought.
we need a nice balance here. Is that what you're
Yes,
telling
yes,
me?
yes,
All right.
yes.
Now, testosterone can be found in both men and women, despite the fact that we always thought testosterone was associated with men.
Right.
Can estrogen be found in both men and women
Absolutely.
too? Okay.
Absolutely. So example, me as a 190-pound male,
Right.
I will have more estrogen in my body than a similarly aged female.
Okay. All right.
Even, you know, because I have a bigger mass.
Yes, I
You
understand.
see? I have
Right,
more
I understand.
cells.
Exactly.
So my bone cells require just as much estrogen as her bone cells do.
Okay.
My muscle cells require just as much as hers do, and I have a lot more muscle and bone than she does.
Right, I understand. Oh, that's something really, 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 really good to know.
Pretty interesting.
It is. That's another thing I'm going to be definitely doing my homework on. Besides the skin aid and talking to you about the laser technology, I don't.
Ultra slim, huh?
I don't
think
think
you
I
need
need
that.
ultra slim right now.
You know,
I
we can
need
see
I
if
need
we can
ultra
make you-
building off.
Maybe
You know, I
we
need
can make you
ultra build.
we can make you disappear.
Okay,
What do you
no,
think?
exactly. Okay, I don't need anything that's gonna make me any thinner. I don't mind making me prettier, but I don't need anything that's gonna make me thinner. I need ultra muscle. That's what I
Ultra
need.
muscle.
Yes. Okay. Hey,
I don't have
work
one
on
of
it.
those.
Work on it, Mark. There you go. 'Cause
Oh,
there's
well,
a-
you know what? Maybe the testosterone.
Maybe let's look into that because I was going to say there's a lot of people like myself, men and women, who have just been desperately skinny on our lives. For the most part, that worked well for us when we were a little younger. But as I've gotten older, it just doesn't sit well for me anymore. And I'm like, I'm tired of. I'm 56 and I'm still looking like a 23-year-old Twinkie. That's not cute. Come on now. So there are a lot of things that I'm learning that I would love to talk to you about. If not personally, then maybe bring you back to the show again, Yeah.
Sure.
This
We
has
can
been
talk some more.
great. I mean, we still have a few more minutes, but my God, I'm surprised how quickly time flies. I guess it's how much fun we're having, huh?
Time always flies.
It
Have
does.
these toys sitting in front of you.
I know, right?
Always
Look
very
how much
short.
fun this is,
And
guys.
you finished your drink.
I did, and it was good, guys. I'm definitely going to talk to you about that as well. Maybe I need to get myself a 6-month supply. Maybe it also will help me.
I should talk to the company about your fashion shows, and maybe they would like to.
I
come and
would
be,
love it.
sponsor that.
That would be great. Thank you. How about that, Vanessa? Yes, ma'am. Oh my God. Because also the other thing too is just been a bit under the weather. Things have gotten a little overwhelming. I mean, I'm getting all these great things happening. The podcast, my business is growing, my classes are growing, but I am completely just worn out.
You know why? You're 56. Your testosterone level, I can tell you, is. I mean, we'll test it.
Okay.
Before we start any
Does
therapy.
it show? Can you tell when you look at someone if they need something?
When they did a study in the Midwest,
Like testosterone.
over 50% of men 45 years of age and older had laboratory abnormally low. And the lab is half of what the low measurement was 40 years ago.
Exactly.
So it's really low.
Okay.
And
Excuse me.
and that's why you get tired, you get fatigued.
Yeah.
And the way we cure this is fascinating, really. I didn't get into that, but
I
since
know,
we have a couple
right?
minutes,
We do.
I will tell you.
Oh, please do. We do have a couple minutes.
The testosterone is human testosterone. It doesn't come from humans, but
Okay.
it's made in the lab. It's the same molecule that your body would make.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it into the fat underneath the skin,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of local anesthetic, a little poke in the skin, and you put in these little, I call them pellets. You put in these little
I
pellets.
saw that on your website.
And, women get a smaller amount. They get it in the fat of the upper outer buttock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You know, 'cause
Mm-hmm.
there's always a little fat pad there. You just put them there.
Okay.
They can't feel them, can't see them. You don't have to take them out.
Right.
But they last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3 months of steady state delivery. And for a
Gotcha.
man, they get bigger pellets. They get more of them, and I put it up in the love handle area.
Okay.
down deep. And they last 4 months.
Ah. So is that the normal place where you would inject men and women?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I got you.
And it's a tiny 2-3 millimeter poke in the skin, so a 1/16 of an inch. It doesn't really leave a
Gotcha.
scar.
How have your patients? How have your patients felt? Have you gotten good? Have they told you they've got good results? Have you gotten good feedback from your patients?
Well, let's put it this way. For a woman, when she comes in every 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty low charge. I charge $500 every 3 months.
Okay.
When a man comes in every 4 months, he gets charged $1,000
Okay.
because it's a lot more pellets.
A lot
and they're
more,
expensive.
lot more pellets, but
Right.
men,
And about
men are so needy.
well, they need to feel good. About
Okay.
98% of people pretty much will continue until the rest of their life or until they move out of town.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just, once you feel great and you feel like you're in your late 20s again,
Yeah.
or
Or even
early
your
30s.
early 30s.
Right.
I'll
Once you
I'll
feel
take that.
Once you feel that way again, you're sleeping like that again,
Yeah.
your mood's like that again, your sex drive's like that again,
Good.
your body fat goes down to all that, muscle mass goes up, all those things happen.
Mm-hmm.
When the pellets wore off, you got about a month or two, and then all of a sudden you're feeling like the old person again.
Good. I like
And
it.
nobody wants to feel like that old person after you
No.
got the fountain of youth for 3 months or 4 months.
All right. You
Right?
know, I'm going to try to sneak my husband in to see, because we both are sitting around the house like this. You know? Okay, so I think maybe I'm going to try to sneak him in. That's the only way I can get him in there.
So what you do is just call my office.
Oh, okay.
And my receptionist will send you a lab sheet by email.
Thank you.
And then you go to the lab.
Then we go from there.
Yeah, we go from there.
Well, in these last few minutes, is there anything that you would like to touch on that we didn't touch on? Any new stuff that we should be looking at, or anything you would like to tell us within the next couple minutes?
Wow.
I know, right?
There's always fascinating new stuff coming out. But I think we hit on a lot of it.
Did
tonight.
we?
I
Oh,
think we
good.
did.
I hope so, because I know there was a lot of questions. I had my questions here, and for the most part, I didn't even have to look at them because I was so enjoying this whole interaction with you, and I had already decided some of the points I was gonna speak on with you. Okay, did I get it out? Did I get it out? So I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. I most certainly
I
did.
had a wonderful time.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. This has been great.
And don't forget to give the office a call.
I certainly. Oh yes. Address. Yes, Dr. Mark. What is your address?
The address is 11300 Rockville Pike.
Alrighty, y'all
And
get
that's
that?
in, North Bethesda, Maryland. It's
Yep.
right across the street from White Flint Mall.
White Flint Mall. Y'all know where that is.
Security Lane and Rockville Pike.
Check him out, man. I think he's the guy.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you to Valerie for introducing me to this wonderful man right here. All right, thank you, Valerie. So yes, we're going to close out.
Okay.
All right. I just want to say thank you guys again for coming to another great show. I had a wonderful time. I learned a lot about cosmetic procedures, things that I'm going to follow up with. And yes, Dr. Mark, I'm definitely going to be calling the office and setting up the appointments with you, man. I love it. But once again, everybody, did you want to say something before we leave?
No, just thank you for having me. I hope your audience
My pleasure.
liked it. And
I think they did. I'm going to read the comments. I'm sorry I can't see them, guys, but that was the best way I was going to get this Facebook Live thing worked out. I'll read your comments later. I know y'all said a lot of things. I had a lot of questions. Write them in. All right. So that being said, welcome to episode 3 of the David Perry Show. Another great time, another great show. See me another time next month in August. I'll send out the date to you. I'm going to be back here again Thursday, 9 to 10. following the lady Nakia, right? Thank you, Nakia. I hope you watched a little bit too. So that being said, good night, everybody. And once again, thank you for joining in on the David Perry Show. Bye, everybody. Love you, love you, love you.